That soundtrack in a football context now means big time. Saturday night it is big time in Sydney. The Giants in one corner, preliminary finalists last year, trying to stalk their way back. Lost in the heartbreaking circumstances at the SCG on Saturday after leading for so long. And on the other side of the coin, it's the Brisbane Lions, grand finalists, plotting their course through September after being victorious in compelling fashion at home. They'll be on the road thereafter. And the two captains who are going to lead their teams, Toby Greene is with us in Sydney. Toby, great to have you with us.
Hey guys, how you going?
And Lachie Neale shares the captaincy duties at the Lions. Lachie, great to have you back.
Thanks, Jared. G'day, Robbo.
You're both veterans of it at this time of year and know a thing or two about big build-ups to cutthroat finals. Lachie, do you find yourself drop back in? Is it a familiar feeling once you get to these weeks?
A little bit, it is. I think last week, having the week off, it's a bit of a slow build-up to that first final when you're just sort of hanging out for a few days. The week leading in becomes quite long after you've had the week off already. But this week, you're sort of back in routine. You've only got the 7-day turnaround, so it comes around a bit quicker than that first final. And yeah, looking forward to getting back out there on Saturday, but at the same time, you're sort of still recovering and reviewing the game, so it comes around a bit quicker this time.
Toby, how long do you give yourself to live in the disappointment before you move on to the next task at hand?
I think just Saturday night, yeah, as we know, we've got to move on really quickly. And yeah, I was super flat, and you know we were pretty flat change room after the game, but rightfully so. And everyone, you know, can sort of decompress Saturday night, and then Sunday morning you sort of get your head around starting to recover and get ready for Brisbane this weekend.
In the review, Toby, what stood out? We all watched the game. They had plenty of run. You guys ran out of puff. Did anything else stand out that you thought, geez, we could have done that better?
Oh, I don't know if we ran out of puff. We sort of let Sydney play how Sydney want to play, which we hadn't done for the 3 quarters before that. So, just, you know, intensity around the ball and probably stopping their corridor use in the last quarter is what stood out and what we need to get better at if we ever have another chance back at them.
OK, for an extension of that, have you worked out why it dropped off?
They probably got to work in contest. A few of their really good players stood up, had some pretty important moments in the quarter. Yeah, I'd say, and our inability to sort of stop their corridor use.
Lachie, how did you review yours? Is put the game away in the shortest possible time, which is hugely meritorious. How'd you marry the second half up with the first half?
Yeah, we obviously started really well. Our pressure game was at its fiercest early on and put a lot of pressure on them, and we were able to turn the ball over and punish them back the other way quite well in the first half. I think for us, we had built that really good lead, and we knew that they were going to have their moments. You're not going to go through the whole game and win 120 to 0. So we knew that they'd have a bit of momentum, and I actually thought that we halted it quite well. In that third quarter, they kicked 3 goals, 1 to our 1 goal 5, I think. So we still had looks, we had great opportunities. We would have liked to have stopped them from scoring a little bit more in that start of that third quarter, and then late in the last sort of 5 minutes, we let them kick, I think, 3 goals at the end there. But I thought we actually played quite well in that third, and maybe there's a bit of narrative that we let them back in the game, but we just missed a couple of shots. I thought we actually played some good footy through that third quarter as well, which will hold us in good stead.
Tell us, when the game starts, a big build-up, Carlton are coming up, you're playing at home, Lachie, and the game starts 15 minutes into the quarter. Could you actually believe what was happening, what your team was able to produce?
Yeah, I can, because we've done it in a number of games, and I think we did it to them in opening round and let our guard down, and they came back and beat us. So I think first quarters have been a pretty big strength of ours this year. Hopefully we keep going with that this week. But yeah, I wasn't surprised. I think we'd we'd set ourselves really well for that game, prepared really well. The coaches had prepared us greatly for that game, and we came out, as I said, with pretty fierce intensity and pressure, and that's probably something that's been lacking the last month of the year, but we sort of had our pressure game going, and we're able to land our tackles, stick our tackles, and turn them around. And we feel like we're a pretty good ball use team, and we were able to use the ball quite well in that first quarter.
How much was the round one clash referenced at half time?
Yeah, a little bit. It was spoken about, but we didn't spend too much time on it. It was sort of what I just spoke about then, that they're going to have momentum throughout the second half. It's not just going to be a walk in the park. When you're playing finals, it's the best 8 teams in it. So we knew that they'd have their moment in the sun, and we just had to try and hold momentum when it came for them, and I thought we did it quite well, like I said.
Toby, cross-town rivalries right throughout the football world. Sydney's looks pretty rich. There's always some spite. There seemed to be just outright hostility. There's a bit of feeling between the two groups?
Yeah, I think the rivalry is well and truly alive. It has been for a few years, though, I'd say. So, no, it's no secret that those games are always pretty high intensity, and both teams like to get the win over one another. But Swans are, they're the team to beat at the moment. So, hats off to them. But yeah, it's always good fun playing in the Sydney derbies, that's for sure.
So the rough and tumble of quarter time, which is not totally unexpected, that would be you and Tom Papley. It probably wasn't a hard duo to pick, was it?
No, it was a bit of fun, and Paps is a good man, actually, so I won't be doing that again. I was pretty tired after it, so I learnt my lesson.
What did it cost you?
Just $1,200 this time, mate. Not too bad.
Which takes the tally to what in your career?
I don't know. I think Butters has still got me, so I'm not sure what I'm at, though.
You've got plenty of time yet, Toby. The one part that has been frowned upon, was it inappropriate for Jason McCartney to find himself as a participant in that?
Well, I don't think it was inappropriate in the sense that he was supposed to be there. He's there after every quarter time, three-quarter time huddle. I think Jace apologised for his involvement in the incident and what happened and transpired, but yeah, it sort of is what it is, and Jace has apologised, and we'll move forward pretty quickly. But that's his role on game day. He's always there and supporting the players. So yeah, I guess we move forward now. He cops his whack and go from there.
Your match-up with Dane Rampy, it was a great match-up, and he subdued you, so he probably took the points. But you kept working hard. Every contest you were fighting, and the ball just didn't go your way. When you lose by what you lost by, you missed a couple of goals, how much does that eat away at you, Toby? And I've spoken to you about this during the year a couple of times, but in a final like that, how much does that eat away at your post-match and that night?
Oh, yeah, a fair bit. I was really flat after the game. I think my defensive side of my game, my pressure around the ball was, really good, as good as it's been this year. But when you got your opportunities, you got to take them. And when you lose by a goal and you miss a few shots that you'd like to kick, you do sort of replay them in your head a fair few times. But that's why I practice them every week, and I pride myself on how much I do practice them. So hopefully I get the opportunity this week and make the most of them.
Let us into your head for a second. The second goal, mainly. When you have a miss like that, is it straight out of your brain and on to the next contest? Or have you been able to not stew on it as you get more mature as a player, not stew as much on your mistakes?
No, to be honest, I probably don't revisit it till after the game when the siren's gone and we lose. So, it's sort of, I guess that's probably come with a bit of maturity and missing lots of shots on goal as well throughout my career. So I'm going to miss plenty more, but I know that's why I practice a lot and why I have faith to take them.
Lockie, as we were just looking at the vision of Jack Payne, which didn't look terribly promising, what's your read on your big defender with the brace on his knee?
Yeah, I think it's pretty positive for Paney. It didn't look too good on the night. I thought he might be done for the year, but he is feeling pretty good. He had a brace on today, which probably makes it look pretty bad, but he seems in good spirits. The news is that he can possibly get up this week. He's got a few boxes to tick on Thursday before that decision will be made, but he's every chance to play, which is great for our group, great for Paney. He's had a fair few injuries over his career, so I'm glad it wasn't as serious as it looked. So yeah, hopefully he's out there on Saturday.
Do you ride the bumps a bit with him when he was the unlucky player with the grand final last year, an injury, and he hadn't played since round 18 and he just needs a little bit of luck?
Yeah, I feel for him. He's copped that sort of his whole career, even early on. I think he showed a lot. I wasn't at the club, but from all reports, he showed heaps of promise in his first pre-season and looked like he might play a fair chunk of footy, and got a couple of stress fractures, and his body's sort of let him down a little bit throughout his career. But he's a great player, a great athlete, and he's super important to our structure and our side. And yeah, hopefully he gets a good run at it from now on.
You on social media, Lockie?
Oh, I've got Instagram, that's it, but I don't spend too much time on it. Not like some other young boys at the club. They love it.
Would you have an issue if one of the young boys made a comment like Jack Ginnivan did, or just made a comment, any comment in reference to the opposition you're playing this week? Do you say, well, it's kids being kids, or being an old bloke that you are, you think, no, hang on, we've got to ease up on that?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I know that Jack is obviously played with Brodie, and there's a personal relationship there, so I understand that piece. For me, I wouldn't comment on social media and do that. It'd probably be a cheeky text on the side or something if you wanted to go down that path. How would I handle it? I'd probably just share my experience and say what I just said to you, but at the same time, we've got guys like Kyle Oman and Logan Morris that bring so much energy to our team, and they express themselves in different ways to what I do as a 30-plus-year-old now. So I think at the same time, you've got to let them go and express their personalities how they wish, and if it makes them play better and play good footy, then good luck to them. But yeah, that's probably how I would approach it.
Toby, where's the modern line around the next generation and expressing themselves, and then what might affect the team more broadly?
Yeah, I mean, I'd sort of be a little bit different. I think I'd say, well, if you can guarantee me you're going to do everything to win on the weekend, I don't really care what you say on Instagram. So go ahead and express yourself if you want. Tom Green probably, does that a little bit along those sort of lines. He's pretty prevalent on social media, and he's quite witty and funny, and but he trains bloody hard and does everything he can to win on the weekend. So yeah, it's sort of, you're right in saying it is the younger generation and sort of how they operate, but I personally probably wouldn't do it, but I'd say it on the field. I wouldn't say it off the field.
Oh, very good. All right, the 2019 semi-final between your two teams was intense. It took us the distance. So fingers crossed we get something similar in terms of quality, and good luck to both of you.